Hey ballers, Squiggles here, bringing you a game. This is a Terran versus Protoss, Tarson versus Mana on Terminus, and this is a little bit older version of Terminus. You can see here that they do have the destructible rocks at the ramp on the third. In the newer versions, or I guess different versions, this is actually a straight wall again, but there are rocks here. So it makes it easier to hold three bases, and yet it's still longer to take this base as opposed to the way it used to be when it came out, where there was just the cliff that went all the way along here, but there was no rocks here, so you could literally just like get two command centers super fast, or I mean a total of three, or three nexus, or three. It was ridiculous to just get that many bases that fast and be able to defend them by holding a choke. So, yeah, they have changed it a little bit to make it a little bit more friendly, and yet still delay a little bit by having a 2,000 hit point with 3 armor, I believe. Yep, rocks that are in the way. Of course, this map is not that, but I'm just letting you know. Okay, now again, I started a little bit later into this game, so we can get right to lay action, and by lay action, I mean less scouting, as we have probes and SCVs all over the map, just running around, and even a Marine wanted to feel special, so he's out on the map talking to the Automaton 2000. But it looks like there is going to be a Rax with a reactor and 2 more barracks coming out for Tarson. So a very aggressive opening. Of course, he does have his command center already down. There we go. That's what I was wondering. So, so 3 racks, pretty standard after you get that 1 racks fast expand. Meanwhile, it looks like there was a gateway and a core and then an expansion going down for a mana as well. He does have both gas while taking a second gas right now, and now going to be adding on an additional gateway and another gateway, so a 3-gate coming out for mana. Oh, it's a 1-gate fast expand and then 2 more gates. Yeah, so this probe is still hanging around, letting me think that he might be building something else, like a robo facility. I don't know. I'm just going to guess and say maybe a robo facility. Yep, I am so good. Anyway, being sarcastic, by the way. Looks like 2 Tex Labs from Texaco or Texas coming down for Tarson. So he could be getting double upgrades, could be getting a lot of Marauders if he wants to. What is he going to do with these? Is he going to get Concussive Shell maybe? Oh, he could get Concussive Shell, or he could start another Marauder. Nope, it's going to be another Marauder. And Concussive Shell and any kind of upgrade's going to have to wait just a little bit. Is adding on a second refinery, and he does have his second orbital done. Going to be floating that over to the expansion, where there is a probe eagerly awaiting and wants to greet him. Meanwhile, this probe is not going to get it away from 6 Marines who mercilessly gun him down. Of course, there is another probe on the map, though, so it is okay. And now there are 3 Stalkers and a Sentry, and I don't know if there's actually a Zealot. No, there is not. You can see, whoops, there we go. If we go to the Units tab, we can see 24 SCVs to 28 probes. Both of them have their expansions down. So Chrono Boost versus Mules is what it comes down to at this point. 20, no, there was 28. Now there's 30 probes versus 26 SCVs, and you can see that military-wise, well, you know, it's getting pretty even. There is stim and combat shields on the way, observer on the way, so there's going to be some observing going on. Oh no, not like me observing, who's casting and observing the game. No, there's going to be observing like the observer who I used to say is like the British fellow with the cup of tea, and he goes around and sips. He has his pinky. You can't tell, but I have my pinky like raised like you would if you're high class, high society drinking tea, and he tattles on everybody back to base. That's what my vision, my interpretation of what an observer is. Like right now, he's like, oh, crock, he's out. That's not Brit. That's like Australian. Wow, epic fail by Squiggles. Whatever. We'll just pretend that didn't happen and continue on with building some gateways. Yep, so it looks like going to be 5 gates and a robo facility, and even adding on a robo bay for some Colossus is Mana. And nice job with these Stalkers, having them spread all over to deny any kind of Banshees, any kind of drops. There is an observer now coming into the main base, actually 2 observers, wow. And of course this observer did not actually get killed, and he has now regened all of his stuffs. And he is going to be just chilling right over the racks, because you know you want to see what your opponent's doing. And it looks like there's going to be lots of Marauders, lots of Marines, and lots of a push coming in. But look at this, another observer just chilling, doesn't want to give himself away. So he's just going to be yep, just looking. Nope, don't look at me, look at the automaton. Yep. And that is a good amount of Marines and Marauders, but look at this. You can see supply-wise, they're about the same, although Mana is in danger of getting supply blocked. He does have 2 pylons on the way. Also a Forge Robo Bay just about to finish up, getting gases 3 and 4 simultaneously. That is a great word. And, yep. Meanwhile, it looks like Tarson just positioning himself aggressively on the map. Does have control of the Zelding Watchtower, which means he can see pretty much everything that goes on in this area. So we can see when Mana decides to move out. Mana, meanwhile, is content to just sit on 2 bases. Of course, he could come down here and take a 3rd, too, so it's not like he's contained by any stretch of the imagination. Looks like a couple of Zealots going to be coming here to the mineral line and wreaking havoc. I think I said that word correctly this time. But it looks like that is going to be Tarson's cue to very cautiously poke in and be like, oh, he has stuff. And it really comes down to these 3 sentries, which is why I don't think Tarson's going to attack. Nope. He's like, well, I could lose my entire force because of those 3 guys, so I'm just going to go ahead and pull back. But there was quite a bit of damage done by those Zealots before the 2 Marauders and Marine were able to get over there and shut them down. And now they're going to go over here and try to find this mysterious pylon. There it is. But if we go ahead and take a look at the workers killed, you can see that Mana has killed 6 workers. So those Zealots doing their job quite well. If we go to the Army and Workers Supplies, you can see that both of them are pretty close. Looks like Tarson slightly ahead in Army, slightly behind in Worker Supplies, but only by a marginal amount. Now, Tarson signaling he is not going to be using that factory for anything for the rest of the game. He is going to go ahead and float this over here. He could scout. He could just sit it here to try to catch any Warp Prisms or Void Rays or Phoenix or whatever could possibly come out from the Protoss. Of course, we know that's not happening because we see Colossus and we see a big Gateway army is all that Mana is going for right now. Also has +1 armor. Very standard to see +1 armor against the Terran player as opposed to weapons because Marauders just don't do very much damage when you have armor. So it just increases your survivability by quite a bit. There we go, burning a scan for an Observer. Decent trade. I think Terran would usually take that if you can actually, you know, say, yes, you will kill the Observer for the scan. I mean, down here we saw a scan and the Observer just ran away and you're like, oh, balls. All right, here we go. Looks like Tarson could be moving out now, and by could, I mean obviously is. We do have what looks to be a feisty little probe here patrolling back and forth. Wow. Patrolling between all 3 of these just to make sure that Tarson does not take any kind of a quick, cool little expansion. But look at this Observer just tattling to everybody. You can see that, of course, Stalkers are going to be in position here, and Tarson is, no, never mind, going to sacrifice a couple of Marines to get away with the rest of his army. Now going to be focusing down these destructible rocks as he joins up. No, never mind. Going to be dropping over here now, and where are Mana's forces? They are at the choke, and he is going to see this drop coming down, and he is going to respond by moving off his units up to the top of the choke. There's going to be stemming going on, and there's going to be a robo facility that is going to run away. Yep, not going to be able to kill the robo facility. Another Colossus, that's not a Stalker, is going to be able to get out. And Tarson has to be a little bit confused and frustrated as to how Mana knows his every move. And really, it's just because Mana has Observers everywhere on the map. That's really what it comes down to. Now, Tarson is going to have to back up a little bit. You can see supply-wise, they're still incredibly close. Both of them on 3 bases at this point, and both of them not mining at all from their 3rd bases. But they do have them up, which is important. Okay, now we have another drop coming over here. Oh, wow, look at this stim, and he will be able to take out this robo facility, I think, because there's an attack coming at the bottom, too. Nice little delaying tactics going on. Oh, no, got to be careful, don't want to lose those Vikings. Doing some damage, and, oh, the drop is going to be cleaned up, but he did get the robotics facility. Robo Bay still up, and the extended thermal lance is done, but Colossus production is going to be halted for the time being, as it looks like +2 armor and +1 weapons being researched for the Protoss. Now Tarson is on +1 and no plans on getting any kind of +2, at least. Well, he does have plans, but he has to get the armory first. So we will wait anxiously while he goes ahead and does that. Meanwhile, this probe needs to get some overtime pay because he has been running laps this entire game between these 3 expansions, which is pretty cool, actually, and I recommend people do that. Okay, here we go. Now we have Zealots without charge. We have Stalkers with Blink, and we have a couple of Colossus and some Sentries. And here comes the forward pylon, and oh, there's the Blink because there is an Observer, and going to be focusing down some of these supply depots. One supply depot goes down, going to try to kill a couple of workers. No, and does not actually get anything as well. Oh, but here, nice job. Ooh, that's kind of cool. Look at that. Tarson's unit's just splitting up horribly there on the high ground. And, oh, the pylon is now done. And, oh, geez, Tarson's looking pretty scary. But, I mean, by Tarson, I mean Mana. Here's the Guardian Shield, and here comes the very, very ranged Colossus. Looks like one Colossus will go down. Is the second Colossus going to go down? Looks like he's out of his shield. but there is only one Viking and a lot of Stalkers. Nice force fielding as well, although it doesn't look like that is really going to do too much as all of the Zealots go down. There's the stim, and here is the time where Tarson needs to get some damage done. He is going to not attack at all, which I think he probably should have because there wasn't any Zealots. 5 more Zealots, okay, fine. But really, this army is really scary, but it melts once there's no Zealots, and he managed to melt all the Zealots and then pull back. So, I don't know. Also, look at how low his units are because I don't really see any... Well, let's go to the units tab real quick and see. No, he only has Vikings, and he is only making Vikings. He is not even attempting to make any medevac. So his units, as he stims, while stim is really good, is just going to continue to hurt him, and going to make every subsequent battle that he is in that much more devastating to his forces. Meanwhile, mana expanding as far away as humanly possible from Tarson, or I should say as Terranly possible from Tarson, and there's just no way Tarson can even get back there. So Mana's going to have pretty much a free expansion coming up there as Mana continues to just put on pressure. Going to be tearing down these destructible rocks. No, never mind. Just going to leave them almost torn down, but not quite. And, of course, this Marine sees everything. Ghosts are on the way now. And where is it? More barracks on the way, too, it looks like. Is it barracks? Yep, more barracks. Where is the Ghost Academy? That's what I was looking for. Mobius Reactor is not researched. I thought maybe I missed it, but I did not. Good for me. Okay, we have a couple Ghosts out, and they do have enough for EMPs, so got to be careful of that, man. Oh, there's a scan back behind him just to see if and where the rest of the forces were. But the blink, nice job by Mana, able to just poke forward, get some aggression, get off a couple of shots, and just blink back and not really take any damage. So that's good, that's good. And look at this. Oh, EMP getting, well, I thought it was dodged, but he actually hit both of the High Templar, so that's good. And yeah, look at that. Still hit by the EMP, so they're decloaked. Wow, one hero probe. And that may actually tip off Tarson if there is an expansion. Nice EMP going down. But look at this. Not able to kill the Colossus. No, Colossus with 16 hit points left. 11 kills, though. And these Zealots just chasing back the Bio Ball of Tarson as Tarson takes a little bit of a supply disadvantage. About 10. It's not the biggest thing in the world. But, I mean, loses all of his momentum. And now Mana pushing back aggressively across the map. Does have +3 ground armor. Just about to finish +3 ground weapons starting right now, and it looks like Terran is actually down. He's on 2 weapons and 1 armor, so Protoss is almost 1 upgrade ahead at this point in both respects. And he's also ahead of base, which is a pretty good thing. And also, look at this, going to be taking another base. Oh, man, so Mana is actually getting out of control. I think at this point, I really need to go ahead and hit this. Just so you can see, worker supplies are almost the same. Army supply Mana is ahead by a bit, but if we go to the income tab and check it out, we can see that Mana actually has a ton more income, and that is because he's able to mine off of so many more minerals. And mining off the more minerals, even if you have the same amount of workers, if you're able to mine more efficiently by targeting different minerals, then you will just be getting more money. And look at that, it's nice storm, I guess dodging. The storm didn't do too terribly much. But here we go. So many Zealots. Nice EMPs hitting absolutely everything. But I don't actually know if Tarson has enough. Look at the supplies. Tarson's supply is plummeting. Mana is staying exactly around 160-ish, while Tarson dips all the way down to 100. And Tarson, with not much left at all, is going to retreat to his ramp, try to salvage. But at the same time, I don't know if he actually can. He has built another command center, can't really use it for anything, and it looks like Mana, no, still not going to be killing these destructible rocks. Instead, is just going to sit on about a 60 supply lead right now, focus on getting that expansion up, and yeah, look at that probe transfer right on time. Here comes a lot more units because Mana has been macroing, yes, indeed. So he is going to be just out of control right now. If we go to the Army tab, we can see it is 99 supply to 41 supply. Also, the worker supply is starting to swing in Mana's favor. So Mana, it is his game to lose at this point. I think he pretty much has it won. He's going to move over here and try to get his... But look at this. There's already a pylon down. Mana, you are so good and so annoyingly awesome at the same time. And by annoyingly awesome, I mean from Tarson's point of view. He's like, oh, come on. I can't even get the base. I mean, even if you scout it right away, you don't really drop it. It's so frustrating. So frustrating, and that's really awesome. Looks like Tarson tried to do a drop, got denied, and now here comes an observer just to kind of check and see, and he's going to come over here, and he is going to have the biggest grin on his face. He is going to say, wait, what, Tarson? That is all you have? Well, I'm maxed, buddy, so I'm just going to come in here. I'm going to focus down the CC. There's nothing you can do about it. Look how fast that CC went down. He is on 3-3 right now. He has all of his upgrades maxed, and we are at 2-2 for the Marines and Marauders. 3-3, not even on the way. More ghosts coming. But I just don't think he has enough. You can see 136 supply to 200 supply, and Mana still being kind of, you know, cautious, actually. Not going to overextend at all. Just going to make sure he plays this proper. And, oh, here comes the storms. Here comes these Vikings going to get absolutely annihilated by these Archons. The stem and the kite back. But here come the Blink Stalkers, and they're going to go ahead and probably blink for it any minute now. Here come out the SCVs. Tons of SCVs going to come out, try to stem the slaughter of life. So many SCVs, actually. But guess what? SCVs can actually get focused down incredibly well by these Colossus. There's the GG. And Mana is going to take down Tarson in deciding fashion. Wow. Mana just had a lot more bases, and although their armies were pretty good, Mana had a couple of nice engagements, and those Zealots, again, just tanking the damage. Mana also was ahead on the upgrades the entire game, and those upgrades really helped, as well as having a whole bunch more supply. But you saw as they kind of had their little engagements that Mana would just eke out like little victories little by little until he had like a 60 supply lead, and then he was like, okay, now I can win. And he moved in, but he still didn't 1A. He was like moving in, moving forward, blinking back, and got all of his units in, and then moved in for the killing blow. So well played by Mana, playing almost just flawlessly. Great job by him. Congratulations indeed. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Please, as always, leave comments and let me know what you think about my casting style, about how many videos I'm uploading, if I should be doing more, if I should be doing less. LOL. Yeah, I enjoy it. Hope you guys enjoy it, and I'll see you guys later.